New videos every day.
Hey, it's Karina, your virtual health coach, and today I'm going to be discussing probiotics and how they can change your life. When it comes to supplements, I'm a bit of a minimalist, but there are a few supplements that I believe are beneficial and even essential for our health. Supplements are also one of the most asked about topics in the comments and emails that I get from you guys. So I'm going to do a whole series discussing the different supplements that I actually do recommend for my clients. And today we're talking about probiotics. Consider your body as a battlefield. Day after day, your immune system is working tirelessly to defend you against germs, bacteria, and other microorganisms that you come into contact throughout the day. So visualize the terrain, your body's defenses, wielding shields and lightsabers, working really hard to try and protect you from foreign invaders. Now, what if I told you that if we're living the average lifestyle, we could actually be destroying our body's own defenses? Our body's army, or our body's defense against foreign invaders, is primarily composed of bacteria. Now, normally we think of bacteria as squirmy little bad guys, but actually there's a lot of good bacteria that is absolutely essential in our gut and in other parts of our body to keep it functioning the way that it's supposed to. So luckily, probiotics can actually help restore and rejuvenate this good, healthy bacteria. So because probiotics help to restore this healthy bacteria in our digestive tract, they can be very helpful for digestive disorders and diseases like Crohn's disease, IBS, ulcerative colitis, and even things like constipation, diarrhea, and food allergies. But what other issues could probiotics potentially help with? So the gut is not only responsible for the incredibly important job of digesting the foods that we eat for either future use or disposal from the body, but it's also home to 80% of our body's immune system. So this means our immunity to things like cold and flu will be affected and improved by taking probiotics. But this also means that autoimmune disorders like Crohn's disease or thyroid dysfunction, rheumatoid arthritis, etc., these other autoimmune diseases can also be affected and potentially improved by taking probiotics. The gut is also where the majority of our body's hormones are made. So this means that hormone issues like mood, energy, and anxiety can also be improved by taking probiotics. The health of our intestinal flora, or these good bacteria in our gut, has also been linked to our susceptibility to cancer and even the efficacy of different cancer treatments. So as you can see, there are a wide range of areas that probiotics can help to improve our health. So Karina, are probiotics really worth my money? In my opinion, yes. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I really don't recommend very many supplements. But I do think that probiotics are one of the few supplements of utmost importance. So again, improving the intestinal flora or the health of our gut not only is going to help you with every kind of gut or digestional disorder that you could think of, right? But it's also going to help you in these other ways, right? So the gut is also responsible for our immunity. It's also responsible for our hormones. So I get a lot of questions about depression, energy, anxiety, right? And these are all issues that can be positively affected by taking probiotics. We also have to consider leaky gut syndrome. Now, maybe you're familiar with this term, maybe you're not, but basically, when we have lots of inflammation in the gut, right? And inflammation is just, you think about when you get a cut and it gets all red and kind of inflamed, right? This is inflammation. It's an immune response. Now, when we have too much of an immune response in our gut and the area actually becomes inflamed, we develop what's called leaky gut syndrome. And basically, this means that things in our gut leak into our bloodstream. This is one of the primary reasons that food allergies are becoming increasingly common. So another thing that these probiotics can help with is food allergies and food sensitivities. So in a moment, I'm actually going to show you some of these different probiotics. These are the actual probiotics that I personally take. But before I do, I want to go over a couple of the different things in our average lifestyle that are depleting this healthy and very beneficial gut bacteria. So antibiotics are probably what people think of first because we know that antibiotics kill bacteria. But they not only kill the bad bacteria or foreign invaders that we're trying to get rid of, they also kill our good, healthy bacteria. So, most of us have been prescribed antibiotics several times throughout our lives. We also have a prevalence of things like antibacterial soap. Most of the conventional livestock that are raised either for their meat or for dairy products are fed antibiotics in pretty large amounts. So this means that we're getting antibiotics that we take on purpose, but we're also exposed to a lot of antibiotics that maybe we don't even realize we're ingesting. Number 2 is drugs and alcohol. So of course, this includes the illicit drugs that we know we should avoid. But it also includes prescribed and even over-the-counter medications, like painkillers and birth control. And I'm not trying to scare you into a frenzy. I'm just trying to illustrate how all of the things that we do in our average lifestyle that maybe we don't consider to be harmful actually can be damaging to the inside of our gut and these healthy bacteria. The third thing that can negatively impact our good bacteria or our intestinal flora is dietary toxins. So this includes pesticides like glyphosate, the primary ingredient in Roundup. It also includes weird fillers and preservatives like carrageenan. And there actually is specific evidence showing that carrageenan causes inflammation in the gut and actually does stimulate an autoimmune response. So I talk a lot about frankenfoods, okay, highly processed foods with really long ingredient lists, and why these things are harmful. So this is a really good specific example of where these food chemicals are harmful to our health. And by destroying the environment of our gut, which is responsible for digestion and all of these other things, these processed foods and weird food chemicals really should be avoided. Number 4 is refined carbohydrates like white bread and refined sugar. Now, there is a tremendously long list of negative effects that sugar has on our health. So when we think about the environment of our gut, just understand that these refined carbohydrates and refined sugar chemicals are actually causing inflammation in the gut. They're causing yeast overgrowth or candida. And in a way, they actually feed the bad bacteria and starve the good bacteria in our gut. Number 5 is GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. Now, once again, the presence of these chemicals in our diet have been shown to cause inflammation in the gut and have been shown to elicit this autoimmune response that leads to leaky gut syndrome, which I can actually talk about in a moment. So GMOs, again, a very hot topic when it comes to our health, and yet another reason that probiotics can be really helpful for undoing some of the damage that these highly common food chemicals can cause. The 6th thing that can be harmful to the intestinal flora, or these good bacteria in our gut, is stress. So high stress levels, lack of sleep, inability to relax, right? Just being in a constant or chronic state of stress is also something that negatively affects these good bacteria in our gut. And again, something that's kind of unavoidable, something that there's really no way we're going to be able to completely eliminate stress in our lives. And for that reason, doing things to help promote and support these good bacteria in our gut really is essential. So before I show you the supplements that I take, I do want to let you know that there are dietary sources of probiotics, so incorporating more of these foods into your diet is a really good idea. So kombucha is a great example of a fermented or cultured food that's very high in probiotics. Other examples would be yogurt, sauerkraut, kefir, natto, miso, and really the list goes on. I could do a whole video on dietary sources of probiotics if that's something that you would like to see. Now, with that said, more likely than not, most of us are not going to get enough probiotics just from dietary sources. And this is why probiotic supplements are one of the few supplements that I actually take myself and recommend to my clients. So ideally, we want to get our nutrients from food sources, right? Foods in our diet. But if we're not getting enough of probiotics, for example, then taking a supplement can be a very helpful way to supplement the number of probiotics we're getting. So the first one I want to show you is this Sola Ray probiotic. Now, all of these came from the refrigerated section of my health food store, and refrigerated probiotics are going to be the first thing to look for in terms of finding something that's good in quality. So this particular probiotic is called Multidophilus 12. And what I love about this product is that it includes 12 different strains of probiotic bacteria. Now, another thing is this 20 billion cells. Now, what this indicates is how much of the probiotic bacteria is contained. So as a general rule of thumb, 20 billion is a good safe amount for the average person to be taking. Again, multiple strains. So Acidophilus, Bifidus, those are all specific examples of probiotic strains. And if you can find one that contains multiple strains, then that's a really good sign of a good product. Along the same lines, I have this Udo's Choice Adult Probiotic. Now, again, you can see that this is a 6-strain formula. So we're getting a good variety of these different probiotic strains. And this one you can see is at 17 billion cells. The third one is a bit more specific, and this one is called Saccharomyces boulardii, and the brand is Jarrow Formulas. So this one was actually particularly recommended to me based on some questions and kind of concerns that I had. So I just wanted to include this one to show you that sometimes it can be helpful to take a more specific strain in addition to your more general multiple strain probiotics. So these are just the probiotics that I take. I bought these in the grocery store. All right, so I'm not being paid to endorse these products or anything like that. Now, just to outline the guidelines for picking out a good high quality probiotic. Number one, you want to look for something with multiple strains. So again, this one is 12 strains and this one is 6. And these are good examples of multiple strain probiotics. Number two, you want to look for something that is in the 10 to 20 billion cell range in terms of the dosage that you're getting. Now, if you see a doctor, he may recommend something different for you, but that's just a good general rule of thumb for the average person. And number three is that you're always going to find a higher quality product in the refrigerated section. Okay, so since these are just bacterial strains inside of these bottles, Something that's refrigerated just signifies that there's no preservatives. Okay, this is a fresher product or a more live product, might be another way to think of it. So multiple strains, 20 billion cells, and preferably refrigerated. So now I just want to show you what some of these pills look like so that you know I'm not trying to make you take some kind of crazy horse pill or something. All right, these are just regular, plain old boring pills. And different probiotics will have different instructions as to whether you should take it before a meal or after. And I would just recommend that you take your probiotics as directed on the label or by your doctor. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. I look forward to seeing your comments, questions, and I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel so you can join me in the next part of this series. If you'd like to learn more about me and my health coaching practice, you can visit karinarachel.com. If you'd like some other information on related topics, I have listed a few other videos here for you to check out. Please leave me your requests, your comments, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.